Welcome back, everyone. Happy second day of Aries, connecting to the month of Taurus. Wonderful to be here. And we know that the month of Taurus is the month of Iyar, which is the month of the Zohar, Lag BaOmer. So we're planting a seed for the entire month of Iyar with the energy of the Zohar. And what greater way than connecting with the Zohar? So let's begin by opening our hearts and meditating that through this study we are plugging into the tree of life consciousness, awakening the greatest light of our soul, using the light of the Zohar to pulverize all klipot, selfishness, limitation within us. We know these days leading up to Pesach is a time where the light of the Creator shines to help us find and transform our chametz, which is our ego, and the Zohar is an incredibly powerful way to do that. With deep appreciation for the great merit we have, we ask for the Creator to continue to choose us to do this work, and we meditate that we're awakening more love within ourselves and the world. Thanking the Creator for living in a time after the Zohar has already been revealed. What a merit and blessing to be a part of it. Prayer of the Ari to open up our hearts, prepare us for our study. ריבון העולמים ואדוני האדונים, אב הרחמים והסליחות ועוד מונח לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו, בגידה ובשתחווה שהקרבתנו לתורתך ולעבודתך, עבודת הקודש, שנתת לנו חלק בסודות תורתך הקדושה, ואנו בחיינו אשר עשית עמנו חסד גדול כזה, על כן אנחנו לא מפילים תחנוננו לפניך שתמחו ותסלח כל חטאותינו ועוונותינו ואל יהיו עוונותינו מבדילים בינינו לבניך, וכן יהי רצון בניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו שתכונן את לבבינו ליראתך ולאהבתך ותקשיב אוזניך לדברים אלה, ותפתח לבבינו הערה בסודות תורתך. ויהיה לבנינו זה נחת ורוח לפני חסך ודרך כך נוכח, ותציל עלינו אור מכל נשמתנו בכל בחינתנו, ושיתנוצצו ניצוצות בדרך הקדושים, שהיית גילית את דבריך על לב העולם, וזכותם וזכות אבותם, וזכות תורתם ותורתם וקשתם, יעמוד לנו לבן הקשר בדברם אלו, וזכותם תארננו במה שאנו לומדים, כמאמר נעים זמירות ישראל, גלנה והביטה נפלא בתורתך. כי אדוני תן חוכמה מפיו דעת ותבונה, we're continuing on paragraph 148, and we're discussing this concept of Zion, Zion, and Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. What are these two concepts? What are these two levels? We explained yesterday that they represent the internal and external aspect of the Yesod Malchut, of the Nukva. So they are the same. They're both in the realm of judgment, but one is the merciful side of judgment and one is the judgmental side of judgment. So it's mercy compared to judgment. And they represent a state of, when they are in balance, as we'll see soon, represents a state of perfection where light can be revealed. Because we began this chapter by saying, how did the Creator create this world? What was the process of how the Creator created our world, the Nukva, the Malchut? Or this reality we live in. And that's how paragraph 145 and then 146 and 147 went through that. And now the Zohar is going to explain how the balance in this level was created. So reminding ourselves that some of these sections that are a little deeper, a little more complicated, we don't want to be deterred by them. We just want to get the energy and light that shines from these sections, whatever messages and the connection we need to make. It opens up our heart. It's the effort that we make. And hopefully we will have certain practical understandings, but it's more just for the energy. And then the second half, next chapter will probably be easier to understand with more stories and practical things. So paragraph 148, the Zohar says, Me'ela le'ela nafka kol dishtema. So very high, up above, which is in the realm of Binah, a voice is heard. A voice always represents the central column, often the energy of Zerampin, but restriction, the central column, that what does the central column do? It balances out the right and left column, the right and left column of Bina. Levato dahu kol nafka v'ishtama. Once this sound, this voice, which is the central column, uh, emerges and is heard, and it balances between the right and left column within Bina. Nafke dinim. The judgments leave. Oh, um, it says here also, Rav Ashlag adds, when, and this will also be more clear soon, when the right and left is balanced in Bina, it says the lights of the right and the sounds of the left. Um, they shine, which means they are heard, which means they shine. So these unique lights shine. Once the judgments leave, then the ways, the pathways of judgment and mercy um, split from there, which means the judgments they leave because the central column came. And by the way, this is maybe a practical point. Wherever there is restriction, wherever there is central column, judgments are removed. That's why the Zohar is one of the most powerful tools, maybe the most powerful tool to remove judgment, because it's pure love, it's pure central column, it's pure Torah, right? Torah is the central column, and the judgments are removed. And because the judgments are removed, because of the central column, then the mochin, the brain, the consciousness, the light, is able to shine through the aspect of judgment and mercy that are in the Yesod of the Nukva. And here is where this will clarify a bit of what we were saying before. As we said, Sion is mercy, Yerushalayim is judgment. So because Sion is mercy, which let's say represents the light of Chasadim, then what shines through is going to be the aspect of the light of wisdom, which represents, because there's a balance now, then within the merciful part, the light of wisdom can shine, and within the judgmental part in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, the light of mercy can shine. Now, by the way, I'm not 100% sure this is exactly what Rav Ashlag is explaining from the Zohar. This is my understanding of it. I hope it's correct. But I kind of wrote out what he wrote, but my explanation I hope is accurate. So on the merciful side, the light of wisdom shines, and through the judgmental side, the light of mercy, the light of chasadim shines. Then it continues breaking down the verse when it says "Vayar'em b'shamayim Hashem." Then God thundered from heaven. Right, we were asking before, why is there thundering from heaven and then hearing a voice? Why do we have both? Well, now we understand, because when it says that God thundered in heaven, Dabe Dina Barachame, that represents the merciful court, which represents the aspects of the judgment in Zion, which is the left. And compared to Jerusalem, that's considered mercy. Ve'elion, and then the verse when it says the Most High, the most supernal High One, that represents Bina. Afagav de la yishtakach ve'la ityada, even though it is not founded and is not known before the central column comes, because it's only with the central column that it's revealed. And because of the judgments that are there, only because of the judgments, there's no revelation of light. Once the central column comes and judgments are removed, then the light can be revealed. Kevan dahu called nafik, because the voice came, the voice emerged, the voice came out, which awakened the balance between the right and left column. Keden ishtakach kolam, then everything is found, everything is there. Din v'achame, within the realm of judgment and mercy, which means both lights of right and left column exist. Hadar dichtiv, as it says, kolo. That's why it says in the next part of the verse that the Most High gave forth His voice, which means Bina brings forth the voice, which is the central column, within the Nukva, in the Malchut, that splits the two sides of her, which is Zion and Yerushalayim, Zion and Jerusalem. And then what happens? Kevan Di'iten Kolo, once the voice has been given from Binah, which is the central column, Kadein Barada Gachaleyesh. Then, as it says in the end of the verse, then there is hail and fiery coals. What are hail and fiery coals? It represents Maya Ve'esha, water and fire. It represents right column and left column. So now hopefully this will clarify a little more. Again, don't get caught up if you understand everything or not. We're making the effort, connecting to the Zohar. But with the hail that's awakened, hail is made out of water, right? Frozen water, which is right column. Fiery coals is fire, left column. When the right column is awakened, with the central column being awakened from Binah down to Malchut, then both sides can coexist. And when there's a balance there, all the judgments, all the judgments are removed, both in the ways of judgment and mercy. And as a result, then the hail allows for, as we said before, through mercy shines the light of wisdom, and through the fiery coals, through judgment shines the light of mercy. Okay, now paragraph 149, the last verse of this chapter. So all of this was just to explain the birth of Judah, and the interaction between Yehuda with the other brothers. When Yehuda was born, Maktiv, what does it say? Vata'amod miledet. So back in Vayeshev, we learned about this, that Leah has 4 consecutive children, 4 sons born one after the other. And when it comes to the 4th son, to Yehuda, it says, it says that she conceived, she had a son, she declared, this time I will praise God. Therefore she named him Yehuda, Judah. And she stopped having kids. She stopped bearing. Her birth stopped. She went through actually a barren period for a while. But Leah stopped having children for a while. She later had 2 more sons and a daughter. But when Yehuda was born, she stopped. Because this is the 4th foundation of the 4. So it's the 4th foundation of the 4 relating to the supernal chariot of Binah. So if you remember, the first 4 children of Jacob were born through Leah, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, and then there was a break, and then the other 4 of Bilhah and Zilpah were born. Then the last 2 of Leah were born, and then the 2 of Benjamin were born. So when Judah was born, it represents how Reuven, Shimon, Levi were the first 3 that represent Chesed Gvura Tiferet, just like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right, left, and central column. And they also represent, as the Zohar is saying, the first 3 legs of the chariot or of the throne. Throne represents where the totality of the light of the Creator resides. So a throne or a chariot is where a high